Hello, and welcome to the Get Lean and Eat Clean podcast. My name is Brian Grin. I'm a certified health coach, trainer, and author. And this podcast is for middle-aged men and women looking to optimize their health and get their bodies back to what it once was 10 to 15 years ago. I will give you simple, actionable items to get long-term sustainable results. Thanks for listening and enjoy the show. All right, welcome to the Get Lean, Eat Clean podcast. My name is Brian Grin. I hope you had a great weekend and Merry Christmas, Happy Holidays. Hopefully you spent some time with some family and friends and enjoyed some great food. And hopefully you had a chance to listen to my interview with nutrition and lifestyle coach, Philip Pape. We touched on flexible dieting, evidence-based training. We got into carbs for performance and much, much more. So if you haven't already, check out my interview with Philip Pape. That's episode 316. And on the micro podcast today, wanted to get into vitamin D. It's an essential hormone, and it regulates cell growth and can prevent a host of illnesses. And I figured since we're in the dead of winter in Chicago, and haven't seen sun in a few days, I thought it would be important to just recommend the fact that you should be monitoring this, because vitamin D is one of those things that plays a central role in regulating a lot of feel-good hormones and serotonin. It can improve the absorption of key nutrients such as vitamin A, C, and calcium, and strengthens the immunity, cardiac, and neurological function of the body. So does a lot. It's an essential hormone. And, obviously due to the rise of industrialization of people working indoors and being confined to computers all day, not seeing the sun, especially now in the winter, like you go to work, it's dark. You get out of work, it's still dark. I'm sure you all can relate to this. So I think more now than ever, this is a test you want to sort of track. And what I would say is get your serum vitamin D levels and ask for 25 vitamin D or serum 25 OHD. As far as what levels should be that healthy range, this could vary depending on who you talk to, but a healthy range would be between about 40 to 80 nanograms per milliliter, excuse me. So 40 to 80 nanograms per milliliter. So first and foremost, I would definitely track that. And there's a ton of studies done on vitamin D. One of them, University of California researchers believe that simply increasing vitamin D can prevent more than 600,000 annual cases of colon and breast cancer worldwide. There's some recent studies that vitamin D deficiency is one of the root causes of depression, fibromyalgia, muscle, and joint pain. So definitely something that you're going to want to track. And if you're thinking to yourself, well, what kind of symptoms would I get? You really don't want to wait till you're getting symptoms. But if you're feeling sick all the time, fatigue, tiredness, bone and back pain, maybe depression, perhaps slow wound healing after surgery or injury, this may be a sign that your vitamin D levels are low. So also too, you're probably thinking, well, what can I get vitamin D from? Now you can get it from food. The best sources is through exposing large skin surfaces and surface areas of your body to the sun. And sometimes this is a little bit difficult. So supplementation is going to have to come into play. And so, a lot of people just slather up on lotion. And I think it's unnecessary. First of all, there's a lot of chemicals, which I'm going to touch on briefly in a moment, in these suntan lotions that could cause harm down the road. And so what I would say is getting sun exposure is important, typically between 10 a.m. and 3 p.m. And you want to expose your large skin surface area. So this would be like your back would be probably a good place to get some sun on, or your stomach. And, the thing is, if you're wearing sunscreen, the SPF of 8, okay, compromises vitamin D by 90%. SPF of 30 blocks 97% of vitamin D. So the best use of sunscreen is to protect your most sensitive and frequently exposed skin. So I would say you can put sunscreen lotion on your face or in your hands, because that's not going to really affect getting vitamin D. It's a small fraction of the skin of your skin surface area. Focus on getting exposure to your legs, your back, your abdomen and chest, and your arms, because essentially those are the larger surfaces of your body. And if you're really worried about burning and stuff, you can put it on your face and your hands. And the thing about these sunblocks nowadays, I'm not going to get into that. I could do a whole podcast on them, but these synthetic chemicals, such as one's called OMC, which is oxyl methylcyanate, and it's a chemical contained in 90% of sunscreen products. Found that could damage living tissue if it penetrates the outer layer of your skin. Also, titanium dioxide, which is another popular sunscreen, and it's been named as a potential occupational carcinogen by the U.S. government due to the unclear toxic danger. So, not stuff you really want to be putting on your skin or your kids' skin. So, I would say if you want, let's say you're worried about maybe your child getting burnt, perhaps some type of technical fabric would be good. I've used from time to time some, like certain arm sleeves. God, I was drawing a blank there. These arm sleeves you could put on yourself. But if not, you can get a better sunscreen, which doesn't have a lot of chemicals in it, like almost like a zinc-based cream. There's some good ones out there. So definitely worth looking into, maybe a little bit more of an expensive sunscreen with a zinc-based cream if you're going to do it. But I honestly think that avoiding it altogether is possible as long as you're not getting burnt. You don't want to burn. So getting just a light tint is important because that's really your best way of getting vitamin D. You could get it some through your food. I would say some of the best foods as far as for vitamin D would be wild salmon, mackerel. I do like mackerel. Herring. I like herring. Catfish, can't say I've had much of that. Cod liver oil, eggs, decent amount of eggs. And these could give you somewhere between about 200 to 1,000 IUs in a typical serving, but it's not really nearly enough to make a dent in your overall vitamin D requirements. I'll put a link for some of my favorite vitamin D supplements. You want to definitely make sure you get a quality one, perhaps one that has K2 in it as well, helps with absorption. So, that was the main thing I want to discuss today. If you're starting to feel maybe some symptoms or not, I think it's an easy blood test, and it's something that you want to track, especially in the winter, and get maybe a quality vitamin D supplement to help you get through the winter until you get some quality sun. At least in Chicago, once we get into the spring summertime. So that's all I wanted to touch on today. Happy holidays. This is always a fun time of the year. Hopefully, maybe you're traveling a bit so you can get some vitamin D. Don't be afraid to get out there. And maybe that first day, ease into the sun. But after that, I wouldn't go too crazy with the sunscreen. I mean, obviously, if you're in Mexico and stuff, it's easy to get burnt. So you got to sort of be careful with that. But you want to get it, especially on those big surface areas. And, as I talked before, it plays a huge role in helping a lot of function in the body and prevent a host of illnesses. So that's all I want to touch on today. Thank you so much for listening to the podcast. And I look forward to talking to you on Friday with another great interview. Have a great holiday season, and I'll talk to you soon. Thanks so much. Thanks for listening to the Get Lean, Eat Clean podcast. I understand there are millions of other podcasts out there, and you've chosen to listen to mine, and I appreciate that. Check out the show notes at briangrin.com for everything that was mentioned in this episode. Feel free to subscribe to the podcast and share it with a friend or family member that's looking to get their body back to what it once was. Thanks again, and have a great day.